The definition of championship DNA. The All Money's Legal Podcast, episode 20. The definition of championship DNA. When you think of a champion, what do you think of? Do you think of a person that easily quits, makes the least amount of sacrifices? Someone who constantly swims in the rivers of doubt? Do you see a person that is never willing to run the extra mile even when they are in excruciating pain? Do you think about someone who is not a team player? When you think of a champion, do you think of someone who is not self-motivated at the highest levels? When you think of a champion, do you think of someone who's not willing to walk the path of uncertainty and the unknown, the highest peaks of elevation? When you think of a champion, do you think of a person or an individual that is not willing to do something that he asks you to do? When you think of a champion, do you think they really live and are fueled by fear? When you think of a champion, do you think that they ever believe that they won't win the game or manifest what they say? When you think of a champion, do you think they believe they can find the answer, find the resource, find the right person they need to help them make it to the next level? When you think of a champion, do you not think of a person that is obsessed with perfecting what they believe is their gift? You see, championship DNA has so many elements to it. It's like the periodic table. When you go back to science, there's a periodic table, H2O, all these different things. There is a certain code for all these different elements that we use in society to live. You see, championship DNA is a formula. And all those things that I mentioned are in that formula. Even to the point of losing everything, even if that means your life. When I think about championship DNA in the world of music, I always think about Nipsey Hussle, because what his indestructible, timeless brand has done is something truly that Black people do not really give him his flowers enough of. The clothing brand, it will run to here until infinity. There's always going to be a person, young or old, wearing a marathon hat. There's always going to be a person wearing a marathon shirt, duffel bag. There's always going to be a person wearing that hoodie tracksuit. There's always going to be someone saying, man, I should charge more. AKA proud to pay. Shout out to Nip, Black Sam, and the whole family. There's always going to be someone saying, I need to go direct to consumer. There's always going to be someone saying, I need to do what he did. There's always going to be someone saying, what's next? What does the future look like? Crypto. Buying shares in the artist's music. Shout out to Nebula. There's always going to be that thinking, because Nipsey Hussle created those bridges of thought that we cross every single day, which is why we still buy his product. We still listen to his music, which is why we still look at his blueprint and say, man, look what he built. He has been gone almost 6 years. They just opened Marathon Burger. The line was 2 blocks around the street. It launched on March the 1st. He is not here physically, but his aura, his energy, his dynamism, the power of his words, the power of the steps he took to build what him and his brother and his family built, ricochet throughout the world every single day. You see, when you are doing this music thing, just like Nip, it was always bigger than the music. That's why TMC, the Marathon Continues, meant so much to him. And like he said on Big Boy's Neighborhood show, it just means I never quit. That doesn't mean I knew everything. I just wasn't going to quit. We were going to figure it out. So him, Jay Stone, Cobby Supreme, the whole All Money In crew, No Money Out crew. Look at what they've built. But it all came with championship DNA. Every single thing that he has, Marathon Water, OG Kush, the clothing, Marathon Burger, the women's clothing line, all the other projects they have going on, the music, everything is signature to the core of his purpose. Because championship DNA never allows you to cheat the process. You gotta stop cheating the process. You gotta stop thinking that it's too much money. You gotta stop thinking, I don't know. You gotta stop thinking that maybe next time. It is right now. Everything you need is right in front of you. All you have to do is make the mental commitment to say, I'm only going to surround myself with people that have championship DNA. That should be on your job application. We are only hiring people with championship DNA. That's it. We don't want anybody that is not trying to go the distance. Because when Tom Brady came back from 28-3 in that Super Bowl against the Falcons, when the Falcons thought they had the game won, they were celebrating in the streets of Atlanta. His whole team came back from 28-3 because they knew number 12, the guy under center, anything is possible. Everything is possible. We only 6 drives out from winning the Super Bowl and making history. And he did it. And he's done it 7 times out of 10 Super Bowls. You'll probably never see that again. Shout out to Patrick Mahomes. He coming though. Understand championship DNA. It emits to everyone around you because they gotta step up or they know you are going to replace them. Championship DNA requires you, it mandates you to look in the mirror and say, stop or keep going. You know what it is? That's why so many people who post on Instagram, all they do is post. And after a while, those posts get less impactful and less impactful and less impactful. You know why? Because they're never showing you receipts. Championship DNA is all about results and no hype. It's never about the clout. It's never about the moment. It's about the lifetime. Don't let that go over your head. It's never about the moment. It's always about the lifetime. You think Nipsey Hussle built what he built because of a moment? It's going to be the Marathon Continues forever. Make sure you go and support the big homie on Melrose with the Marathon Burger. The food is outstanding. The movement is real. Are you creating a brand with championship DNA so it can last forever so people will feel proud to buy your product? People felt extreme. They felt like Nipsey was talking to them when they were in the restaurant on Saturday. It was electrifying. But so are you. If you're built for it. We build different over here. Radio pushers, all money's legal. The Marathon Continues. Marathon life. Frank Camille, I see you. You know what it is. Championship DNA. Do you have it or not?